flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News echoes as Africans in Diaspora and Back Home leading English news network, one of the most respected and trusted sources for news updates on current affairs as it affects global Africa.
As it affects global Africa, that's what we do. Give updates to reach out to our people in diaspora and other parts of the world. You are welcome. My name is Okonjo-Iweala, and we're on with our Wednesday update that comes with a lot of explosive information. And we can't do this without our coordinators and partners in the different parts of the world. Joining us from far away, Toronto, Canada, is Sir George Chukwu. Sir George, you're welcome to Wednesday Global Africa.
Good morning, Matt Godwin, and good morning, viewers from around the world. Welcome to our show today. It's going to be a fantastic one.
It's going to be a fantastic one. Viewers, if you are out there, you can join us with this WhatsApp number, WhatsApp +39 3510 559 4541. You can join the discussion. You can put out your texts, your messages from any part of the handles you're following us. Also joining in today's program is our man, Ogbeni Olayinka Raji from Lagos, Nigeria. Ogbeni Olayinka. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Massive Ma. Good morning, Sir George, and good morning, our viewers around the world. Welcome to our
Good morning, Raji. Welcome to the show.
Yes, good morning. Welcome, Raji. It's not complete when we don't have one feminine touch, you know, those diva touch. So adding a beautiful touch to our presentation this morning is Bidi Nana from Lagos, Nigeria. Bidi, good morning.
Good morning, Massive Max, Sir George, Raji, our viewers all around the world. Thanks for joining us again. Let's do it like always.
Good morning.
Let's do it like always. Guys, while we were all linking up to the StreamYard, a breaking news just came in. So we will start with that. It just came into my phone. It says the embattled former governor of Central Bank, Nigeria, Godwin Emefiele, has pleaded not guilty to the allegations of approving the printing of 684 million at the rate of 18 billion. And he's standing on the 4-count charge by the EFCC, that body that handles corruption in Nigeria. So, guys, it's coming as a breaking news. Me will put it like this. I would say the disgraced former governor of Central Bank has pleaded not guilty to allegations on him. So what will you people say?
Well, I would say the escaped goat, ex-governor of Central Bank, because he's nothing but an scapegoat. They're making a scapegoat out of him. You know, he's pleading not guilty. Who authorized the changing of the color of the naira? Was it Emefiele that came up with it, or was it Buhari? You see, this is one of the things that we just go through in Nigeria. We leave the people, the root foundation of things, and then we go into the root, into the branches to, you know, start fighting. You know, this is just crazy. They did not have anything on this man. They arrested him, kept him, and started looking for charges against him. And it's nothing but a witch hunt, if I ask me. Because if we have to, I'm not saying that Emefiele is innocent, but if you have to attack Emefiele, if you have to charge Emefiele, you got to go to the root cause. You got to bring that individual who authorized it originally, who wanted to inflict pain on Tinubu when he wanted to change that money. Until Tinubu, you know, came out and wanted to expose all the deals that they made. And then he reneged back and then started supporting Tinubu. So these are the nonsense that we see in our, you know, governance and the way we do things. This man is nothing but picked up and a scapegoat. That's all it is. If we gotta charge Emefiele, let's bring Buhari, because he was the culprit and he was the originator of that particular idea to change the color of the naira. That's all I can say about that. He's pleading not guilty.
Yeah.
And I believe that if the law will serve its cause, they will exonerate him.
The law
Thank
will
you,
serve
Mr.
its
George.
cause. They will exonerate him. Okay, go ahead, Raji. It's a breaking news. So
Thank you. Thanks, George. But then you see, I think you are jumping the cat. The process is in place. Emefiele has been charged to court. He has pleaded not guilty. Let the court do its work. At the end of it all, we'll know who is the guilty partner. I don't think he's being used as a scapegoat.
Listen to this, though. Listen to this. If the court is doing its part, the man has already been given bail. Why are they keeping him? Why are they keeping this man still locked up until today? Why is that if he's not a witch hunt?
Maybe he has not perfected his bail release, otherwise he would have been released. Or maybe, there are accusations and accusations. And once he gets a bail for one accusation, he has to get bail for another. You know the way the EFCC
let me
case.
Okay, gentlemen.
Let me tell you something.
Our man Femi. Okay, sorry to cut you, George. Our man Femi. Okay, is in Turkey, reporting live from Turkey, and also we were talking about this yesterday. Femi, you're welcome to Wednesday Global Africa. How are you enjoying Turkey?
Yeah, Turkey is looking pretty beautiful. You can see the blue skies behind. Everything's going well.
Okay.
That's wonderful.
Good.
Semi, okay, what are you looking for in Turkey?
Yes. Okay, anyway, BD, it's a breaking news. Let's just take it very fast because it's not actually in our menu today, but our man just pleaded not guilty. What's your take on that? I mean, Emefiele, CBN governor.
Emefiele pleaded not guilty, and that's good. Emefiele is not guilty as far as I'm concerned. Like Sir George said, Emefiele is just an scapegoat. You see, it's high time we try to get things right in this country. If we really want to probe this case, we should get everybody that is involved. We shouldn't be selective in getting our judgment. Emefiele pleaded guilty. I like that, and he's right. Yes.
Pleaded not guilty.
Not guilty. Sorry, he pleaded not guilty, and that's good. I like that. Emefiele did not just wake up and made a decision to print Naira. Emefiele was mandated to print that Naira. If you remember that case, when the Minister of Finance said he was not aware, do you remember he was not aware? Our Buhari president told her, that she don't need to be aware. She doesn't
have to know aware of everything that goes on. That's what she was told.
Yes.
Buhari mandated Emefiele to do that, and then Emefiele was working under Buhari's direction. So if Emefiele pleading not guilty, that's good, and he's right.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I mean,
the process is on.
Emefiele pleaded not guilty a few minutes ago. What's on your side from Turkey?
My problem with Nigerian politicians, or Nigerians in general, is that we say we don't want corruption. We hate corruption. The moment anybody is arrested or indicted for any kind of criminality, we start to look for excuses to absolve them from their guilt. And then invariably, some of them get off. And then we say, you see, it's because they were innocent. The charges against Emefiele have nothing to do with the Naira, change of the Naira. They're specifically about fraudulent allegations, and they are specific and they're itemized. I would urge each and every one of us to go and get access to these documents and read the indictments. It's really unsavory for us to come on stage and to make comments without having read those allegations. When you read the in-depth knowledge, details of the investigation.
When did the allegations come? Before
can I carry on?
After he was picked up. No, you have to analyze things adequately.
But George,
as if we don't have
George, here we go.
Don't go there. Go back to the origin of the case.
Can I speak? Yes. If I'm allowed to speak, I don't interject with anybody. What I'm suggesting is, rather than us speak in hyperbole, let each one of us who's on this platform go and read the indictments, go and read the in-depth thing, and then come back fully armed to make comments. When you don't do that, then you're just making statements in isolation, and then it becomes sentimental.
You're just talking in general terms.
Ask you a question.
I'm just going to finish what I'm saying.
I'm
going to finish what I'm saying.
Finish, you talk, please.
Yeah, so I'm just suggesting that when it comes to criminal indictments of anybody, for that matter, these things are public documents. For us to read those indictments, you will find that investigations have been ongoing for years. For a long time in all of these people, but people seem to assume that they're just short-term investigation. And remember, when a criminal offense occurs, they are ongoing, because as they continue to reveal, new allegations come up, new revelations come up, means new charges coming on board, new existing ones. So I would say let the judge. I mean, of course, I agree. Anyone who's on charges is innocent until proven guilty, but that doesn't mean we should assume that their innocence is cold blanche. Wait for the judgment and let's see how the trial goes.
Wait for the judgment and let's see how the trial goes.
Can I say something? See, what MFLA is pleading, they said MFLA has been arraigned for printing 684 million naira Nigerian notes with 18,096 million naira. That's what they accuse him of. And my point is this. MFLA gave them, that was when the Minister of Finance got involved. And he said he's not aware of this money that they are demanding for. And our sitting president, Muhammadu Buhari, asked her that she don't need to be aware of everything. And Buhari approved that money for MFLA to use that money to print that amount of notes. Now, I'm not saying there is no crime here, but what I'm saying is that if we want to probe this, everybody that got involved into that crime, into fraudulent act, must be arrested and probed together, including Buhari. We shouldn't be selective in probing this. That's just my own.
Just one sentence. Let me ask a question. I'm gonna ask Femi. Femi, you seem to love the Justice Department, the judicial arm of the government. Is it the same one that cancelled everything about the election and put your man Tinubu there? Is that the same judgment that you're talking about? The one that they picked up this man? Is that the same one? No, I'm not. I'm asking a question because he wants to.
I'm happy to answer any question. Look, specifically,
because I need to find out what judgment he's talking about.
Let's look at the. Yeah, he's taking control. He's asked me a specific question.
Yeah, diverting.
With regards to the judgment of that was a civil matter to do with elections, and the answers are there in the judgment. They're clear for everyone to see how they arrived at their judgment. When it comes to criminal matters, equally, if someone has been found innocent or guilty, the answer will be there in the judgment, and we can all analyze the judgment afterwards and say whether we think it's fair or not. But at the end of the day, the judgment will stand once it gets to Supreme Court, and nothing you say or I say will change that. So I'm not here to debate judgments. I'm not here to say whether it's fair or not. I've had many judgments that have gone against my party, and I've never said that judgment was a bad judgment. It's a judgment, and that's the way it goes.
Gentlemen, let's it's still a breaking news. Let's still look out for what will be following.
The process is ongoing. The man has pleaded not guilty.
Yes,
for that charge.
You guys are making me sweat here in Turkey.
Yes, we don't want you to sweat. We don't want you to sweat. Let's go on to other discussion.
Yes, please, Massive Mark, take charge.
Let's come to another breaking news as yesterday evening. ASU threatens another nationwide strike. ASU is the Academic Staff Union of Universities in Nigeria. They've threatened to embark on another nationwide strike to protest the absence of a governing council in all the federal universities, among other issues that they put out. So let me just run through some of the breaking news as of last night, this morning. Also, we were studying something of the Peter Obi LP and PDP. They are having a closed-door meeting with each other in Abuja. We saw Peter Obi, we saw Atiku, we saw Saraki, we saw Lamido, some of these opposition leaders, and We're still checking on what they are up to. Let me just ask this question before we go forward. George, what do you think could be happening? LP, PDP having a closed-door meeting. Do you think there's some deliberations, collaborations, alliances being formed all against APC?
Now they might come up because you see the way it's done. It's always been that way. The North will always look for somebody in the South in order to collaborate, and that's how they were able to come up with APC's government currently. So if they are doing that, maybe they can come to a common level of understanding that will be profitable to everyone. But the point is this: there is no question whether they're going to be able to. They can always think about, after 8 years, because as far as we are concerned, nothing is happening to Tinubu. Tinubu will be there for 8 years, like it or not. So they don't, we don't do election. We'll do selection, but it's going to continue anyway. 8 years, solid. Then after that, we can talk about somebody else. That's all it is. That's all I can say for now.
Now Femi is smiling. George has now to
Can I say something?
It's going to be there. It's going to be there.
Go ahead, Didi. Go ahead.
I say, we saw that in Obi made a visit to Atiku. But honestly, that would be the worst thing Obi might be doing. See, Peter Obi did not need any politician to win election in 2013, which I know a lot of people will debate, but we all know who won that election. Do you understand? Now, Peter Obi left PDP because he said they were buying delegates with dollars, and which he was not ready to do. They were buying delegates with dollars. He left PDP. Now, with Peter Obi, a lot of Nigerians have hope for new Nigeria. And you cannot have that new Nigeria by collaborating with the same people who have sunk this country. And it is going to affect Peter Obi's political history. That is the worst mistake he can do. Now, like Sir George said, you see, no political party can take power from APC as far as Nigeria is concerned. The only people who can take power from APC is Nigerians when they are ready and they stand up. Just know it.
Can I just come in?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if the meeting is all about the next election, then I think it is a failure ab initio. But if the meeting is for them to bring out constructive criticism against what is happening in governance now, then I may support them. But if their meeting is just for the next election, then I don't see any positive sense in it.
Well, that's what we said when Buhari and Asiwaju was meeting, but it panned out to be very well for them. So I mean, never know. Yeah. You never know.
You never know. Thank you very much, gentlemen.
I haven't had a say. I haven't had a say now.
Okay, go ahead. Sorry. I thought you would just okay, go ahead.
Look, Mastermind, look, the thing is, I want to agree with a lot of what was saying, but I want to make it clear that 8 years is not guaranteed. I'm an APC supporter. 8 years is not guaranteed. No government is guaranteed in office. If APC don't perform, it's very possible they can lose in 2027. But having said that, look, the purpose of politics at the end of the day is to be in power. So Atiku and Peter will be meeting together is all about power. They may be, of course, pooling resources to be opposition because I already called them LPDP, so they already won in the first place. There's no difference between Labour Party and PDP. They're both oppositions. They're both from the same counts. But the problem I have with that kind of thing is that the reason why Peter Obi left PDP in the first place was because he knew that he couldn't win the ticket in the first place. Nothing to do with buying votes by dollars. That's had nothing to do with it. What he had to do is he thought that PDP were going to rotate part of the power to the south, in which case it should have gone to the southeast because PDP has had a Yoruba in the southwest as president, has had Goodluck Ebele Johnson in the south as president. So if it was rotated to the south, it should have gone to the southeast. PDP chose not to do so. And I don't see them going to change anything anytime soon. The reason being that Atiku, the forever candidate, is going to be running in 2027. So he's not going to stand down for Peter Obi, is he? So that alliance, you know, go work now. They go have another stolen mandate, where the two of them go have stolen mandate. That's what's going to happen.
100% supported. It's true. What he's saying is very true. But I only disagree on one point, though.
Okay.
He was saying that that it's not guaranteed. No, I'm telling you, brother, Femi, okay, you in Turkey, it is guaranteed. When Buhari was asked, what if you lose the second term of elections? I'm not going to lose. I'm not going to lose. He knew what he was talking about, and I know what he was talking about, and I know what I'm talking about right now. Nobody is taking this post until after 8 years. Asiwaju will be there. God bless his life to be alive until then. I'm praying for him. Please.
Make me the word too.
Thank you, guys. Viewers, you're tuned to Wednesday program, SSM Global Africa Update. Thank you. We have a number of people watching, following us here now. There's a news also that we need to talk about. It's even though it's a little bit of a domestic news, but I think it's something to highlight. A young man called Benjamin Basil was apprehended yesterday by security operatives in a bank in Jos with devices strapped to his body, and he was going to rob the bank of 100 million naira. Now, what the young man said was he was kidnapped and strapped with the bank with the bomb to rob the bank. That was what this young man said. Now, gentlemen, we've come to this time now when crazy things are going to be happening in our country because some section of the country has these madmen running loose. So that's the picture of the young boy there, Benjamin Basil. And imagine what would have happened if this bomb had exploded. I mean, this would have killed him, shredded him to pieces, and killed hundreds of people also around. But thank God it didn't happen. So, George, when you see things like this, what comes to your mind? Bomb.
You see, that's really, really crazy. And if this is true, I'm just saying, because I don't know, this is just new. If this is true, my goodness, we've gone so deep when it comes to criminality. This is amazing. You're gonna kidnap somebody, put bomb around him, and take him to the bank to go and rob. Wow. We're getting deeper and deeper. Seriously.
It's very true. Did you see the news yesterday?
Wow.
So you're not following up.
I'm just saying it. I'm not going to follow up on this one.
Okay, it's true, very true. Femi, you saw that. Femi, how do you feel about insecurity in Nigeria, and now it has come to this level?
Look, insecurity is everywhere in the world, and this kind of stuff is just criminality, and it's absolute madness. I mean, let's assume he got to the bank, he got the money. You know, how would he have got himself out of that bomb? You understand? How will he give the money back to the people without blowing himself up and the money up? I mean, this is complete madness. At the end of the perpetrators of this nasty crime,
quite ridiculous.
The perpetrators of these crimes must be brought to book and must be prosecuted. We have too many criminals in Nigeria not being brought to book. Even if they arrest them, we don't hear anything about their case. We don't see them on trial. We don't hear about prosecutions. Even till now, I don't even know what's happened to that guy, that famous kidnapper in Lagos. I can't remember his name now. You know, he kidnapped so many people. What's the latest? I know he was found guilty, whether he's going for appeal or whatever. You know, these things go on and on and on for years.
Clifford Orji.
You know? So we need to know that these people, when they get caught, are prosecuted, and if they're and maybe even killed. You know, because if you kill some of them and people see it, that might act as a deterrent. You understand? Otherwise, people think that they're just getting away with it.
That's it. Thank you.
Thank you for telling
let's leave that now. Since some of you don't have that story, there's no point lingering long on that. But it's real. It happened yesterday, George, and that's what we saw.
I think the bomb is fake.
You know, the annoying thing about this, that boy is undergraduate. That boy is an undergraduate. I'm telling you, somebody who is an undergraduate to get to that level, then it's a big problem on our hands.
It's a big problem.
I think the bomb was fake.
No, it's not that it was fake, but it didn't. Thank God it didn't explode anyway. But it's not a well arranged explosive thing. You know, it's just some cranky kind of setup. But it would have exploded. It would have. So guys, let's go to more news. There are more things on the burner. Tinubu suspends cybersecurity levy. This is what we're hearing yesterday. The Senate Committee on National Security and Intelligence said cybersecurity levy actually wasn't targeted at any individual, but it was meant for financial institutions and telecom firms. So on Sunday, the news came out that it's been squashed, that plan to add some tax to cybersecurity. But what I'm saying is this, guys, listen to this. How come a government policy will be thought out, and next minute they say they squashed it? So what's that gimmick? What's playing out there?
Can I come in?
Squashed.
Yes, go ahead.
It was suspended.
No. Sorry. Let Raji speak. Raji, go ahead.
You see, I believe in what is said as the concept of what do you call it? The government has a way of telling you that they are not going to do something, while in the real sense, it's exactly what they are going to do. The concept of inverse relevance. The stealing, the brigandage that was involved in that levy had just been suspended. And by the time the Nigerians know what is happening, it will have been sneaked in on us, and we'll be paying things. There was no reason why there should have been a levy in the first instance. Because if you understand cybersecurity, the National Security Advisor has nothing whatsoever to do with national security, with cybersecurity and cybercrime. It is beyond his scope. Those who commit cybercrime use the electronic medium. Every electronic medium is supposed to have certain layers of protection against such level. And when most of the cyber crimes happens in the financial institutions, and financial institutions have layers and layers of protection against cyber crimes to protect the deposits of their clients. So there's no reason why there should have been even any levy at all. Whatever is supposed to be done by the financial institutions to protect their clients is being done electronically. They have a whole department for security on their electronic systems. I don't see where the National Security Advisor.
Listen to what the federal government said on why that levy they were trying to pull it out. He said the levy is not designed to fund. It's designed, to fund counter-terrorism efforts by the government. That was number one. It was not meant targeted to any Nigerian citizen or individual, but it was to a relevant section of the Cyber Act was made up through that plan, so that businesses that require to pay levy will pay those levies and not citizens. So, but
there is no reason for any government, any institution to pay levy.
Okay, people came
for
out
anything.
And said insensitive action by Tinubu. Femi, okay. What's your take on that? What's the cybersecurity levy being squashed?
Narrowed this thing to like a personal, your bank transactions. Cybersecurity is real, and it's a big thing that's happening worldwide. It's in the hundreds of billions in terms of the exposure to internet fraud and whatnot. It's not just down to your bank account. There's so many scams and schemes on the internet happening globally. And what you don't understand is that Interpol and all these agencies are up in there, together, cooperating to kind of quell this menace. It's massive. In fact, the other day, the FBI were involved, agencies in America and UK, in Europe, Australia, everywhere, Japan. So this isn't a small thing. And the thing is, at the end of the day, whoever is your bank, who owns your bank, your insurance, or whatever the financial institution, or even just ordinary transactions, there's a cost. These things cost. So even to protect it, it costs. So where is the cost for that protection going to come from? At the end of the day, the customer is going to have to pay for it somehow, whether it's through levy or whether the banks add insurance costs or whatever. There's a cost. You can't have all these insecurity keep on exposing people. Someone's going to have to cover that cost. So if we pretend today we're not going to pay that cost, it will happen in the future. It's been suspended. I believe it will still come out in the future, and the amount is very small in terms of per transaction. But I do understand
the
that
amount is not small.
It's 0.05%. That's what
it's not 0.05. It's 0.5.
0.5.
0.5%. It's still a small amount in terms of every individual. Yeah, but at the end of the day, look, I just want to finalize. It's been suspended right now, but I can see that they may well bring it back some stage. I do understand concerns about the money going directly to the NSA. We must question that, because we know what happens when money like that happens. We had Dasuki Gate and all that kind of stuff. So we should really have transparency in terms of how the money is spent. So if the money is going somewhere, we should shed all eyes on what are they doing with that money.
All right, George.
Okay. Can I just say something? Number one. I am very, very happy that the outcry of the people reached the president's ear and they backtracked on this thing. Now that's number one.
Drama.
I'm glad that they did that, because at least we know that they are listening to the people's plights, and then the cry of the people is entering into their ears. I am very happy. That's number one. Number two. There are foreigners, America and some other countries, that are actually funding Nigeria when it comes to this cybersecurity nonsense. We have not heard about it. Yes. So, when they begin to institute and bring all these little, avenues of, raising money, which is, will eventually be unaccounted for. You don't know how it's being spent. Yes, indeed, Femi is correct. There are so much going on, but I can guarantee you one thing: there are many countries that are funding, giving us money regarding this particular cybersecurity protection. Interpol. That's number two. Remember that many countries contributed to the election of Nigeria. If it wasn't because Britain started arguing in their own House of Commons, we would not have known that they gave such a large amount of money, and many countries did the same thing. So some of these things we don't even know about. There are avenues that Nigerians are getting money, and then there, when it comes to security, when it comes to this cyber security situation, many countries are contributing towards that, because they know what Nigeria stands for, and they want the government to curtail such such crimes coming out from Nigeria. So that's another thing. But I am the bottom line is I'm very happy. I'm very happy that they listen.
BD, when the initial announcement came out, the cybersecurity levy, Peter Obi, LP presidential candidate, said that's a burden on the dying economy, and the NLC and some other bodies also came out to say they demanded urgent reversal of that plan. So, but Femi said some things that I like. Yes, and we're looking at that point, do you think, because we're always cutting edges in Nigeria, we want to, keep postponing things, postpone things, but one day to catch up with us, don't you think there should be that levy?
No. Excuse me. See, there shouldn't be that levy by now. What actually P2B said was that even if there's going to be that levy, it's not now, considering what Nigerians are going through now. And that levy, they just put it on the hold. They just suspended it. And why they suspended, Minister of Information and Technology, Muhammad Ali, said that it's undergoing some review so that they will know how they can apply it. They didn't stop it. The levy is on hold. So CBN is reviewing it so that they will know how they will apply it. It is money, the levy is still going to hold. They didn't stop it. They just suspended it so that they can know how they will apply, to Nigerians. Maybe probably because Nigerians cry that Nigerians are going through a lot of things. This is not the best time to put on that levy. And that was actually what Peter Obi said and other Nigerians said. Even if we're going to pay that levy, it shouldn't be now. Nigerians are going through a lot now. Bringing that levy, it's a big burden on us. And now,
let's also engage with our viewers. There are many of them out here. Starlet Entertainment says, so we pay for card maintenance. That's actually a scam. Yes. Pay for transaction security. That's also a scam. Banks make money from loaning out to customers money and don't even pay up to 0.5% of that profit. Starlet, good talk. He also said,
Massive Mike,
because of the blowback. Simple.
All right, Massive Mike. Can I just say something? So if you have them sort of love scams where they scam people of their money, that's got nothing to do with your bank account and all that kind of stuff. But that is involving billions, tens of billions. So there's so many kinds of crime. There's nothing to do with your bank. But because of, like I said, we're narrowing it down to our personal bank scenario. It's nothing to do with that. It's a whole big thing, this cyber crime. And we need to address it because Nigeria is in the middle of it. There's so many, Yahoo is real. And there's so many people doing that stuff every day. That's their job. To fleece people of money all around the world.
All the more reason why the people do not have to pay a levy. When you look at the amount of levy, even on that 0.5%, it gets to more than 30 trillion naira in a year. 30 trillion naira in the hands of the National Security Advisor.
Too much money to be levying people. We got too much money. There is too much money in the country. There is too much money.
The people are getting ourselves. The people are getting too taxed for too many things and the people are accepting being taxed. Whatever any tax comes in, the people accept it, and we find ourselves arguing against each other when we should argue that no, there should be no levy. You can't levy transactions.
One thing they can't levy is when Americans come back to claim citizenship in Africa. You see me wearing my Kente fabrics here. That's because we have the good news coming from one part of Africa, Ghana. So we'll come back, gentlemen. We'll come back to the discussion and while we talk about the citizenship of Stevie Wonder in Africa. So see you on the other end, guys. See you.
So compatriots, Nigeria's call, obey to serve our fatherland with love and strength and faith.
This country has some of the most extraordinary culinary diversity in the world. I'm talking about Nigeria. This first dish is amala abula, made popular by the Yoruba people in southwest Nigeria. It starts with amala made from dried yam and then is covered in a variety of soups. Next we have ofe nsala, a white soup that is synonymous with the Igbo people of southeastern Nigeria. It goes best with fufu, or akbo as the Igbos call it. Next we have suya, the most well-known food of the Hausa and Fulani people of northern Nigeria. Meat is covered in a peanut-based powder called yaji and cooked over an open fire. This is banga and starch, a classic of the Urhobo people of Delta State. Lastly, we have onunu, a plantain-based swallow of the Izon people in south-south Nigeria. We are eating it with fisherman soup, popular throughout this whole region. And of course, we don't forget the jollof rice. This is popular everywhere in Nigeria. I think what makes Nigeria so great is the diversity of all the different people coming together. These beautiful ethnic groups living side by side, sharing culture and cuisine is what makes Nigeria such an amazing country to visit. Nigerians should be so proud of that cultural heritage, as there is so much more that unites than divides them.
In a world where news flies around every minute, you need the ability to relate and connect with what matters and stay up to date. Schengen Story Media News Echoes is Africans in Diaspora and Back Home leading English news network. One of the most respected and trusted sources for news updates on current affairs as it affects global Africa.
Welcome back, viewers. Welcome back to Wednesday African Global Update. I'm here with my men, my squad, intelligent, dynamic, nation-minded, nation-builder-minded people. George from Toronto, Canada, BD from Lagos, Nigeria, Femi Oke, presently in Turkey, and our man Ogbeni Olaruyinka Raji. Guys, let's still go on with the tax thing. Listen, Okonjo-Iweala, our Nigerian woman at the WTO, that's the Director General of the World Trade Organization, Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala, said something very, very vital last night. She said she's advocating for balanced taxation. She said in Nigeria, they have overburdened the citizens with taxes. And that's confirming what Raji said. Raji, let's hear more from you. This is what our women have said. She said they've overburdened citizens with taxes. Yes. She said they should ensure that they have value. They should make the tax they collect valuable, first of all, then before adding more and more tax on the people. Come on, Raji, go ahead.
Oh, but historically, we are just taxed. We never see what they do with our money. We have always been complaining about what do they do with all these taxes that they collect. Yes. So you see, there's no trust between the government and the people, whatever they need to do. But the government does not give the people enough confidence in that they will be able to apply the resources that they get from the people very well to the benefit for the people. So the people are afraid of, we are overburdened already.
We're overburdened.
Before you know what is happening, they will tell you that there's a subsidy on something that you never knew there was a subsidy on, and that subsidy has been removed, and therefore the subsidy that you have been paying before, you now have to come to you as tax. Enough of those taxes.
Now, this is what she actually said. She said all the taxes and the levies that the government takes increases government revenue, like you just said. But she said it depends on where and how people are being levied on. And she also said our tax to gross domestic product, GDP ratio for Nigeria is very low. It's about 7% or so to our GDP. So what she's saying is, even though government needs to push up tax, but maybe government is not doing it the right way. They are not careful about the taxes. It's not really being processed the right way. Shegun, do you agree with Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala?
No,
Shegun, we can't hear you. Femi, we can't hear you.
Okay, I'm Femi, not Shegun. Hello?
Yes,
Shegun.
Yes, Femi, go ahead.
All right, so let's see. You said you made a statement just now. You said that we're one of the undertaxed people in terms of percentage of tax to collection, 7%. It's absolutely ridiculous. I completely disagree with what Raji was saying, that we're the most highly taxed and we're collecting tax and tax. Look,
I never said you are highly taxed.
Okay. Hold on. Go ahead, Femi.
Okay, so what I want to put to you is that In fact, Nigeria is one of the lowest tax paying countries in the world. And actually, the tax that we must distinguish personal income tax with corporate tax and other taxes. So when you look at personal income tax, our taxes are quite low. And hardly anybody pays any real tax in terms of personal income tax. And when you say that people are not happy with the burden of the tax and what people are doing with the money, all that personal income tax goes to your state government. So if you're looking at Tinubu because of your personal income tax, you have lost sight of reality. The focus should be on your state government. What are they doing with your personal income tax? And are they even collecting it? I tell you they're not. If you think about how many cows are being sold in any particular place at any particular point of time, say an average cow is being sold for, I don't know, 750,000. What is the tax element of that? Are they even collecting it? How much grains are being sold on a daily basis? Are we collecting taxes on that? So we're not collecting taxes at all. Most people, if you see your Iyaloja that's selling pepper, or the guy who's sewing butter, or the guy that's doing your barbing, or the guy that's doing any other thing for that matter, are they actually paying tax? You find they're not paying any tax. The rich man that owns how many flats, how many houses, is he paying tax on the revenue of the rents of the properties? No. When he sells his property and he gets capital gains tax, is he paying any tax? No. When you sell your property or you inherit property from your family because your father died and they gave you a lot of assets, do you pay tax on that? No. So at every juncture, we're not paying taxes, but we claim to be paying too much taxes. And then we wonder why the government is not delivering. The government is not delivering because they're not getting enough tax. And that's the reality. But Nigerians could remain, and I keep saying it, unlawful and ungrateful. They want everything for nothing, and that's just the truth.
Femi came hard on this, so Femi came hard with points, George. Femi came hard on this with points.
This is hard one. Listen to this. Listen, I agree with him completely, but also I agree with him on the aspect of the fact that we are not collecting as much tax, from different areas that we are supposed to. But also we have to understand the country that we're living in. We're not in North America. We're not in Europe. So we're in Nigeria. And most of the time, mismanagement of our resources and funds has been the main cause of the problems we are having, not because of taxes. If we have been actually being transparent in the revenues that we're receiving from just oil alone, and then putting it into work, it will be more than enough. Look at Dubai. You look at the citizens of Dubai. They don't have oil, but we see what is really going on. What I'm saying,
they don't pay.
Dubai doesn't have oil. Check it out.
They do have oil.
They don't pay
tax.
They
do have oil and gas. They have gas.
Okay. So now, but what I'm saying is this: the problem we have in Nigeria is because the head has been stinking. And when the head has been stinking, and that has been the problem with common man. So the little crumbs that are dropping for them as in ease of life, like the subsidies and stuff like that, you're taking it out, without consideration and all those things, is bringing hardship upon people. These things ought to be done slowly. So and if it's done well, and then we become transparent in the way that we spend money, it will be okay. Okonjo-Iweala is actually what she was doing was encouraging the states to begin to bring productions, industries into the states, so that there can be that exportation of goods when we manufacture it locally. So that's what she was encouraging, because the way it is right now, what we export out of our country is little or nothing compared to what it's supposed to be and what it was in the past.
It's true. Little or nothing. Yeah, so that's why she said we need to bear with government. We need to bear with the government because the tax to our GDP ratio is low, and we need to work hard to lift it. Those are her words. Thank you, guys. Thank you for putting out that. Let's come to.
You didn't have BD.
Yes, BD. No, BD is not there. BD somehow. Okay. Let's come to, and I wish BD was here for this. So there's something brewing, something funny happening in Niger State. But before we go on, let's look at Starlet's comment again. Starlet Entertainment says all the money in the bank are insured. Also, when has the bank ever intervened in returning customers' money lost to fraud? So Starlet is saying this maybe with some personal experience. Thank you, Starlet. Thank you for the comment and the follow-ups. Thank you, viewers, for also being there. Guys, in Niger State, a member of the House of Assembly, Abdul Malik, came out and said he's going to sponsor 100 orphans in his constituents. 100 of them, he's going to sponsor them to get married. And but after this morning, it's a funny story coming out from Niger State. Niger State is middle Nigeria, not really North Nigeria, center Nigeria. So this morning, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Women Affairs, Undue Kennedy, said they should put that plan on hold because there are some intricacies to it. She said the decision has become necessary to stop that plan of the speaker marrying young girls due to the increasing number of orphans married to bandits. Orphans married to bandits. That's what she said. Guys, let's talk about this. Niger State is going through a situation there, and the woman said they have to put it on hold. Now, the man was ready to sponsor 100 orphans to get married. That's interesting, you know, but Femi,
the Fulani oligarchy is trying to rehabilitate, you know, their terrorists, you know, and then give them young, fresh people to marry. So that's the reason why she's crying out. And we've had it happen in the past. You know, the Chibok girls, most of them, they came out, they built them a house, and they have all these bandits, you know, having kids with all these young ladies. So I think maybe that's why she's crying out and wanting to hold off and make sure that these orphans are not going to be given to, you know, so-called rehabilitated bandits, or the one they're trying to rehabilitate by giving them wives, you know. So possibly there might be a corner to investigate in that. She's crying out about it.
Yes, she said it's a bit to protect the rights of these young vulnerable girls. The controversy sprang up last week when the House Speaker said he wants to sponsor 100 of them to get married. Femi, somebody is asking Femi question here. Maybe we'll just look at that before we continue. It's Femi. He says, ask Femi, is Dangote paying any form of tax? He simply builds road that the federal government has budgeted money from, and then walks free. Is that true, Femi?
Kind of statements they get from people. They should go and check their records. Many of Dangote's companies are registered in the Nigerian Stock Exchange, so they can go on there and collect their financial accounts and see how much tax they're paying. You'll find that Dangote is one of the largest tax-paying companies in Nigeria right now, for sure. So one of the largest contributors to the federal revenue of the government. Now, on this matter, yeah, I support what the Honourable Minister was trying to do. At the same time, I can also understand what the House of Reps guy was trying to do. And what you find is that when the Chibok girls, you know, there was a, how many years they said the anniversary, I don't know if it's 10 years or whatever. What they were saying was that a lot of them are being ostracized, okay, because they were ex-Chibok or Dachi girls. So in fact, they couldn't even get married. Some of them with kids, they've been ostracized. People don't want to be with them. People don't want to be close to them. So maybe that was an effort of them saying, rather than these people being ostracized, we should look for husbands for them and whatever. Look, at the end of the day, the North and the South, they're not the same. You know, but ostracism does happen. People get ostracized, and it's a problem. Isolation. You know, in a country like Nigeria, could be a problem. That could be your end to your income levels and all sorts of stuff, lead you into poverty. So I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it must be done with the free will. You know, it shouldn't be a compulsion or forced situation. So if they're doing it with their free will, and if they're at the age where they can make such a decision as well, you know, then, you know, I'm open to whatever they're doing. But I'm not, you know.
Well, the House Speaker has also stopped the plan. He said, let the Minister of Women Affairs go ahead with whatever arrangement she has. But George said something very vital. BD, we lost you there. We hope you're back. We're talking of the women, the marriage, the 100 brides that would have been married this weekend. It would have been this weekend. And it's been called off because the Minister for Women Affairs says They need to protect the rights of those vulnerable girls. What do you have on that as a lady and watching that event? What's your story, BD?
At least for once, we'll have a reasonable Nigerian who is in power. Because if you check the history of Nigeria, this has been the in thing in the north. They will assemble these girls and marry them out and keep recycling poverty, recycling problem in the nation. Because no matter how we look at it, a lot of us keep saying, oh, the way they do things in the north and the way it's been done in the south is two different things. But we live in the same country. The mistake these people make has a way of affecting us, no matter what or how you look at it. Do you understand? You can't just keep forcing people into marriage without empowering them, without them having a life, or without even their own consent. Most of these times, these children don't have consent. And as a human being, they have a right to consent to whatever thing they are going to go into. But in most cases, they don't even ask for their consent. They just marry them out. At least I applaud Minister of Women Affairs. She's doing a great job, and we're behind her. You can't just marry these children out. You marry them, they have children, they'll still remain in the same level.
Thank you very much. Well, while that was also playing out, this was happening yesterday. There was a protest in Kaduna yesterday, a big one, and that's the girl there, Leah Sharibu. Leah Sharibu was one of those girls that was taken by terrorists, Boko Haram terrorists, abducted some years ago, and people are still asking for her whereabouts. So I think probably with this marriage talk again, federal government might revisit this issue and get this girl out of that captivity. Leah Sharibu is still in captivity by the Boko Haram forces in North Nigeria. Gentlemen, let's come to some other news that we need to talk about. And our focus will come now to Mozambique. It's African update. So we're coming to Mozambique. I don't know if you all know Mozambique. Yes, Mozambique is that South African country with long Indian Island coastline, beautiful beaches and everything. But there's something terrible happening in Mozambique. They are smuggling wood, timber out of Mozambique, from the forest of Mozambique. They are smuggling timber wood, worth about 18 million pounds a year from the forest to China. And this money comes back to fund Islamic insurgency in Mozambique. Why I want us to put our attention on this is because this global Africa, we can't all just be in Nigerian gist. So I don't know, is anybody following this story? We have it running on all news outlets, CNN, BBC, everybody's saying this. There's an illicit trade of wood that is financing the militants in Mozambique. And the whole thing is just a fraud. Mozambique. So who's there? Who has any gist? For our viewers, Mozambique is that country you see on the map there. It's it borders with Harare, Zimbabwe. It also has some connection with Malawi. Beautiful country with a population of about 32 million people, according to the World Bank. Its gross domestic product is about 18 billion US. And Mozambique capital, Maputo. Maputo is the capital, beautiful place. Femi, do you have any news on this?
Well, you remember that there was African Cup of Nations that happened one time, and then players from Togo, Benin Republic, I think, were shot at. Their buses were shot at. Some of them died because of militants in Angola and Mozambique. So this fundamentalists, you know, they're in Mozambique, they're in Tanzania, they're in Kenya, they're in Somalia. It's a big problem all over. Nigeria is not exclusive, so it's everywhere. But a lot of it is to do with mineral resources. Now, one of these minerals is wood, timber. It's happening not only in Mozambique, it's happening in that island, Madagascar. The same thing. Rare woods is being exploited by the Chinese and other people, the Indians and whoever. The governments are so weak, they can't even stop this whole thing. And I watched a video the other day where it talked about how the Americans are putting bases in Africa in order to secure resources. Africa's resources are being plundered, not just by the Chinese, not by the Russians, but by the Western powers as well. Go and see what they're doing in Congo. So we're in trouble in Africa. And until Africa comes together as one to say, we don't want no foreign interference, we don't want no foreign bases and all this kind of stuff, leave us alone and let's do our own thing. And be united against them, they'll continue to exploit our differences, just like they're exploiting our differences in Nigeria. All the fighting in this north central, the north east, and whatever, you'll find that maybe there's laterite deposits, maybe there's gold deposits, maybe there's other minerals, and that's behind these things. But we in our myopic views, we look at it as a tribalistic thing, when actually there are other serious things underground happening. So we should really open our eyes and be more enlightened about the big picture that's happening globally, rather than just thinking about our tribe or our particular sect and all that kind of crap. You know, when we start, you know, this is what we need to do.
Good one, Femi. Good one. The revelation is coming at the same time as we see some insurgency fights on the north of Mozambique. So as of last week, Friday, 100 insurgents were really battling it out in a town called Macomia. So this is what is happening. We want to add our voice to what is happening in Mozambique. Beautiful country, George. Look at the island. Look at the coastal line. See how beautiful it is. Blue sea. Some people will want to jack up this whole opportunity and mess up the country and leave these people.
You know what it is this. What it is this. You know, the question. I really thank Femi for bringing this up quite elaborately and explicitly. Number one is, why did they kill Gaddafi?
Okay.
What threat was Gaddafi bringing to these, spoilers and those that are just taking our resources? Simply because the man had an idea to put Africa together, a Pan-African mentality, to bring us together in order for us to understand the value of the resources that we have and how we can take advantage of it against all the spoilers that are coming in. So what you see now is, you see what's happening in Zimbabwe also, with all the, tusk and elephant tusk and everything that is being, taken out of that country. Chinese is coming out and having a news conference and saying that they're supporting others. They're lying. All these things, they do it. They're what you call, Indians call it a shine face type of situation. So, up until today, yes, you mentioned Congo, you mentioned other countries. We really need to wake up. Look at the way, when they're suggesting the way you're going to do your border situation. Anybody can go from Italy, Milan to London on a train easily. And then you see from Paris to Milan easily. And, they move around so easily. And that's because of economic, to help their economy. But now, when it comes to our own countries, we're not even able to go from Nigeria to Ghana without being, with all kinds of hindrances and obstacles and all manner of diplomatic blockade. So, and they're doing it intentionally because they don't want us to collaborate with one another. But they know what we have, and therefore they divide and they conquer. And that's exactly what it is. It is time for us to come together as a continent, just like the continent of Asia. Most of them are together. Let's come together, as a continent and begin to put our heads together. How is it that we can manage these things, cooperatively and individually, in order to have a cooperative venture? If we had followed what Gaddafi was, actually suggesting, by now, Africa would have been so high somewhere, ahead than where we are today.
Very much. Thank you, George.
How could Africa have gone anywhere when we all sat down and looked at how Gaddafi was treated? There was not a voice raised in support of Gaddafi. There was not a voice raised because most African governments have been compromised. I don't want to talk too much about Gaddafi's case because
because if you raise your voice, they will stop giving you aids. We have been so beggarly. That's the problem.
So why do we have to depend on aids?
Why do we depend on
that's the reason why we need to come together, because they're using
75%.
All right, guys. All right, I see emotions are running now.
Sorry, 75% of the so-called age never get to the country.
Okay, guys. Starlight is also still writing here, but long talk. Put short. He says, China doesn't sponsor terrorists. Thank you, Starlight. Thank you so much for all the feedback. Now let's crop it up. Let's come to our main focus for today, and that is, you guys will remember that we once talked about how we can build our African promote tourism in Africa. Now, something beautiful is happening in Ghana, and that is Ghana is recognizing Americans are coming back home and giving them citizenship. Let's see this before we continue to wrap it up.
When I say I, Mr. Stevie Wonder, you please mention your name. So I,
Stephen Morris,
swear solemnly, sincerely, and truly declare and affirm that I will be faithful and bear true allegiance to the Republic of Ghana, and I will preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana. So help me God. Congratulations, sir.
Gentlemen, that's Stevie Wonder. You all know Stevie Wonder, the blind man, but that's the legendary singer, songwriter. Stevie Wonder is now officially a Ghanaian. So 74-year-old Stevie Wonder has become a Ghanaian, and he told BBC that it's an amazing thing. Though born and bred in the United States, Michigan, state of Michigan, now he's a Ghanaian. So Femi, you are in Turkey, and we've been talking about how to improve the Africa, not just Nigeria, but Africa tourism. That sector needs to be looked into so well. Strategic planning for that sector. So what will you say, Femi, hearing this?
This is a fantastic thing that I've known for a while, that Americans, Jamaicans, or anyone for that matter can automatically, if you're of black descent, you can become a Ghanaian citizen. We in Nigeria have a massive diaspora. If you think about Nigerians in Cuba, they're still speaking Yoruba there. Nigerians in Brazil still speaking Yoruba there. And people all over the place, whether it's Colombia, whether it's Haiti, all these places. And with DNA technology now, you can actually determine your origins. You understand? So why Nigeria doesn't also embrace that as a way of bringing in diasporans back to Nigeria? Because what you'll find, look at how, how wealthy someone like Stevie Wonder is, and many other Americans. They are not going to just take your citizenship. They will come over and they will invest, they will buy property, they will make the investments, they will employ people and so on. And they will also be a positive role model for your country. I don't know. I just believe that Nigeria as a nation has not embraced its diaspora properly. I've traveled all over the world. I know what tourism is really about, but our tourism policy, I'm sorry, is a joke. It's just not, we're not on any serious level at all. Ghana's been trying. I've been to Ghana. You understand? Yes. I've been to South Africa. I've been to Kenya. I've been to Tanzania. I've been to Zimbabwe. I've been to Egypt. I've been to Morocco. I've been to Tunisia. You can see what tourism really is about. We take tourism with levity in Nigeria. We don't take it seriously. Meanwhile, it's generating billions of dollars every year for these countries. In fact, those countries I'm mentioning, without the dollar input from their tourism industry, those countries would be on their knees. So when at a time when Nigeria is complaining about the economy and so on and so forth, tourism helps the country to integrate and develop. Because when foreign input comes in, the locals will have no choice but to secure themselves, because if you make yourself a place insecure, it will affect your tourism. So things like that will happen. But, we don't do integrated stuff in Nigeria.
Now that Femi has mentioned my name in this discourse,
George,
now I have to come in.
Okay, come in.
I didn't mention your name, but go on.
Yes.
No, he didn't mention your name.
I thought you did. I thought he did. Okay, I thought he did. Okay, so just go ahead.
Let's talk on the topic.
No,
on the issue.
it's the number one
yes,
thing.
I'm talking on the issue.
Number one thing is that, what Femi is talking about is amazing. It's incredible. And it's something that we need to really pay attention to. But the first step towards that is security. If with the kind of insecurity we have in Nigeria people can kill in Florida. You can have gun by disco and kill hundreds of people in Florida or Texas. Yet, when they report it as a problem in that particular place. But when anything is happening in our country, it could be in the north alone, Katsina or Kano, they condemn the whole entire nation.
That's it.
They condemn, that's what you see, and we don't fight it. But people can be killed in Tennessee or in Florida or in Oregon. They just center it in that particular state. And they don't call it that people, there is insecurity in that place. But there be a kidnapping taking place in the north. The whole Nigeria is condemned. And that is something that we really, really need to grow out of to stop that kind of narrative. Because that's what's destroying our economy. Nigeria is the most beautiful country in Africa. And the people are looking forward to coming and having fun in that place because our outlook in life is so pleasant and so uplifting. Regardless, they say we suffer and smile. But yet, when foreigners come into that country, they can have such fun that they will never, an indelible mark will be making their lives. And it is the government who can stop this nonsense that is really happening because they are allowing it to happen. All of a sudden, the Northerners are just suffering, but the whole Nigeria is condemned.
Yes, Reggie, go ahead. Few minutes, Reggie, go ahead.
Thank you so much. Let me assure you that a lot is being done in the tourism environment as I speak. Nigeria is trying. In fact, they are pumping a lot of awareness, a lot of information into tourism as we speak. Ekiti State is now very, very high up in the tourism factor. As for Ghana, probably in a few months from now, you see me swearing allegiance to be a Ghanaian. I was made in Ghana. I was born in Ghana before Ghanaian independence. So we are talking to a potential Ghanaian.
Okay, beautiful. So remember us with your kenke, and then watch it when you go there. We'll come and eat kenke and watch it.
We'll come and eat with you.
Oh, by the way, Femi, enjoy yourself. I'm loving your environment.
Yes. Thank you, Femi. Thank you, Femi. Thank you for coming by. It's been beautiful. Yes, we will be doing more on this platform, guys, to, like I said, scale up our tourism sector, help that part of the industry. See you guys on Friday. George, thank you so much. I know you enjoy Kenke and the Wache, and so God bless you all. Have a beautiful week. Thank you, viewers. Until we come again next time.
See you on Friday.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Yeah.